Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, and I am here to talk to you today about Love Island, Season 7, UK episodes 1 and 2. So we're going to kind of fumble through this and see how it goes. Obviously, I love Love Island, as most of you guys do as well. I've been trying to figure out the right time to come on and talk about it because I don't get the episode until like 11 p.m. Eastern. And so sometimes I already hear spoilers of what's going to happen, so it's a little bit frustrating. And then I would want to go maybe live the next day, but I've been just trying to figure out timing. So I'm going to do episode 1 and 2 right now, and then hopefully starting tonight, I'll watch tonight, and then maybe at around noon or 2 p.m. Eastern go live with Love Island UK. If that makes sense to you guys, let me know. If you think there's something better or smoother to be able to handle all this Love Island content, let me know, please. Join me in the chat because I'm here by myself. I'm going to be looking at my notes and talking to you guys. So if you guys want to interact with me and have a conversation here and talk about the different happenings within the villa, I am here for you. This is your time to talk all things Love Island UK Season 7. So we already did the cast assessment, but I will kind of pull up the images of the new couples just so we'll have an idea of who people are in case we've forgotten who they are. And then we will just go through the episode and see what happens. So first thing is that I miss the music. I love the Love Island music. It's like, it just gets me in a good mood. I think it's because it goes on every single day. We have an episode every day. We miss it enough to be excited for it to come on again tomorrow, but it's not overkill with 4 episodes dropping at one time. So I love the pacing of Love Island, and it just works for me. I'd have to say that the other favorite part of mine at the beginning of the season is seeing the women coming in those, I guess they're Jeep convertibles, cabriolets per se. Love that. It's usually a different car every season, and so this year was Jeep, which is actually one of my favorite cars. I've always wanted to have a Jeep Wrangler, and in the summertime have the top off, and so I'm still wanting to have that on my bucket list, my dream car list. And I love seeing the girls coming in these vehicles. So the first 2 that were in were Kaz and Liberty. And kind of what's to note about them, they seem like they were fast friends. They were both really excited to be in the villa, and they had a little bit of trouble opening a bottle of champagne. So I wish that they kind of maybe did some stop motion or time lapse of them trying to open the champagne, because they said it took over a half an hour. I don't know if they're joking, to get this champagne open. But I would have liked to have seen how long they actually really struggled. I actually learned in, 15 years ago, how to properly open a bottle of champagne. It's taught by Moet, or Moet, however you want to pronounce it. And so you actually want to hold the cork and twist the bottle. So that's kind of the best way to be able to open it. If you have slippery hands, having maybe a Lido or a cloth of some sort on the cork, and then twist the bottle, and then you can kind of pull out the cork. It kind of works simultaneously. So just in case you guys don't know how to open a bottle of champagne, you're actually not supposed to try to pop it off, because as we learned from another Love Island alumni, Theo, that if you do allow that to pop, you might get it in your eye, and it could be very, very damaging. So another thing too, key is to keep on the cage. So you usually take off the cage and put off and just try to pop off the cork. But actually, you want to keep the cage on for a little bit of grip, and then you twist the bottle, or put a napkin over the cage and twist the bottle, hold the cork. So just a little tip there in case you guys do not know how to open a bottle of champagne. And I love knowing that the narrator is married to the host. I guess she's the new permanent host, because he's like, all the ladies are in. What more could you need? Whitmore, because that's his wife's last name, Laura Whitmore. So I liked that, knowing that he loves her. And so he's excited that his wife is joining the cast, and they're kind of working together, but not together at all. So all the other women have joined at this time. Everybody looks gorgeous. I love all their swimsuits. They're all quite skimpy, looking fabulous. And Laura gets all the women to line up in the pool. So I actually was thinking that it was going to be the men this time that were going to enter first, because we knew that there was an extra woman. So I thought that that was going to be how they did it, because I feel as though, I could be mistaken, but back in the day, I could have sworn that they alternated each season who was being chosen and who was doing the choosing. And so it's like the women would be in the pool, say season 1, and then season 2, the men were in the pool, and then season 3, women, back and forth, back and forth. Could be wrong, but I really thought that they alternated. Regardless, it was women in the pool, and the men were going to be coming out to see if any of the women were going to step forward for them. And then if, depending on who they wanted to couple up with, they would choose which woman they would like to be coupled up with. So this is where it's always very awkward, because we don't know these people's personalities. You can't really tell if you're going to vibe with them or not. And so it's kind of like, do I think that they're hot? Is what do I like their body? So it's quite superficial what we're basing these initial couplings on, but that is part of what we love about the show. So the only thing that we learned before this is that Sharon is completely against men wearing white jeans, or any man that would wear white denim. So I'm really curious with people's wardrobe and see if it's going to be a repeated theme, because she's mentioned it a couple times in this first episode. So I wonder if it's going to be a big deal moving forward this season. So, okay, so first up comes Jake. And Jake is... I think he's handsome. I mean, everybody that's on the show is good looking, is handsome. So the judge of who's better looking than whom, it's very hard to say, because everybody's all subjective. He's definitely has a full beard, has some tattoos, I believe. He's a good looking guy. So he comes out, and the only person that actually stepped forward for him was Liberty. So that was not necessarily surprising. I find that the women usually hold out for a little bit as to who they want to choose. So let me show you. Where is Liberty? And how come I can't find you now? Oh, there it is. Liberty and Jake. So, there you go. Liberty and Jake are the first couple in Love Island. Definitely a very good looking couple. Jake has mentioned that he likes blonde, so she's definitely blonde. She stepped forward, and I think if somebody steps forward for you and she's the only person, it would make sense, in my opinion, just to pick that person, because it's just kind. So I'm happy that he, even if he would have wanted to choose somebody else, he decided to choose Liberty, because I think that's nice. So that's our first couple. Oh, actually, I want to change something here, which I didn't change before. That's from, let's change that little guy, because that's from The Bachelorette. Do I want it blue? What do you think, guys? Maybe blue. It's cuter. So next up is Aaron Francis, the guy that I think is my long lost cousin. He is definitely very, very good looking. When he comes out, both Kaz and Faye step forward for him. But the bugger goes against what I just said right now, and he decides to choose Shannon. Now, Shannon is definitely drop dead gorgeous, like all the other women. But I was just surprised that 2 people chose him, and he still decides to go with Shannon. I do see them, if I look at them aesthetically, like they do look like they would be a really good match. And so I can understand him being attracted to her aesthetically, but it would have been nice if he chose one of the 2 women that stepped forward for him, that are immediately interested in him, instead of choosing someone that was like, yeah, I'm not really that interested in you. So I was surprised by that, but it's a ballsy move. It's a ballsy move. Next up is Hugo, and he's such a handsome man, but nobody ended up stepping forward for him. So he ends up choosing his ideal woman to couple up with, and he chooses Faye. So to remind you of who Faye is, here we go. So Hugo and Faye are here together. Faye just felt as though, you know, Hugo is a little bit too kind. He's too sweet. And she'd stepped forward for Aaron. So she's kind of like, being like, well, not that you don't look like you're too kind, but like, he's saying that Hugo just looks like a sweet angel, which he probably is. He looks like he's a very, very nice person. So then next up is Toby, who also nobody steps forward for. And I'm just like, my heart just breaks for these guys. I mean, anybody, when it's reverse and the women are coming out and then nobody steps forward for the women, I always feel bad for them as well. But these poor, sweet young men, especially Toby, who's never, you know, had a relationship, and, you know, he doesn't think that he's ever going to fall in love. He's also quite young. I think he was 22 years old. So he does choose Faye away from Hugo. So Hugo is now going to be sitting on the subs bench. So this is our new couple here, is Toby and Faye. Then next up we have, let me just get that off, Brad. So Brad comes in and people are into Brad. So stepping forward is Liberty, Faye, and Sharon. Sharon, who hasn't stepped forward for anybody yet, has stepped forward for Brad. And Brad goes with the pick of the day. And the pick of the day seems to be Faye. So Brad and Faye are the new couple. And on the subs bench is going to be Toby and Hugo. And then lastly, we have Hugo, who came out first. He gets to decide who he wants to couple up with between Kaz and Sharon. And he chooses where is it? Hugo chooses Sharon, which is no surprise because it's always the trope of the beautiful Black woman to not get chosen or not be first pick anyways. And like, it was really sad because she did step forward for Aaron. Aaron did not choose her. She didn't step forward for anybody else. Okay, fine. She wasn't necessarily interested, but like even between Sharon and herself, Hugo wasn't interested. And so she ends up getting last pick, and pick by default, she is coupled up now with Toby. So those are the picks. So it is Jake and Liberty, Aaron and Shannon, Hugo and Sharon, Toby and, wait, is that right? Oh, Toby and Kaz, and Brad and Faye. Oh my goodness. Kind of a tongue twister. The Sharon Shannon is a little bit like, can't figure that out sometimes. So those are our first couplings for 2021 season of Love Island. So I definitely am excited to see how this all goes down. I don't know if it's because it's a new season and I'm just not used to everybody yet, but like I feel like I've been more excited by the dynamics of people in the past. I'm not sure if I'm going to love all these characters as much as I've loved people in the past. It just doesn't seem like it so far, but it is only day one, first couple episodes, so things definitely might change. So a lot of conversation that we're having, which I thought was really interesting, was like, why didn't you pick me? Why didn't you step forward? And, you know, Shannon was saying that she didn't step forward because they didn't make any eye contact. And that was really interesting to note that it was very obvious when people weren't interested in them because they didn't make eye contact with them. They didn't look at them. They didn't kind of like make that connection. And so the women were like, well, you're not interested in me, so why bother stepping forward? So note to self, everybody that goes on Love Island, if you want people to step forward for you, make eye contact, look at them, engage with them. regardless of whether you're interested or not, at least, so then you don't, feel shame by not getting picked. Couch Potato Queens, hello. You haven't watched yet, but oh my God, she's so pretty. Who's me so pretty? Her face so pretty. Couch Potato Queens, I'm not talking about Love Island US, I'm talking about UK. So you can still jump on that bandwagon because I get to be about a day behind, or like 8 hours behind finding the episodes. So yeah, this is Love Island UK. Hi, Sam. So yeah, I'm doing Love Island UK, talking about episode 1 and 2. Have you been watching it, Sam? I've been using the Daily Motion that, I don't know if you suggested that one, but that's what I've been finding the episodes, and it's been uploading at about 11 p.m. Eastern or 10:30 Eastern. Tell me, Sam, what do you think? What do you think about the couples? Hi, Riley. Thanks for joining. Are you watching Love Island UK Season 7? And what do you think, Sam and Couch Potato Queens and Riley? What do you think about these new couples? Do you have a favorite? Do you think that it's going to be as dynamic as the past season? I mean, season 5 was such a good season, and I loved all the couples and the people that were in the villa. So that's a really high bar for me to like. I really loved everybody on that season, and I still kind of pay attention to what they're doing on their social media. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I love this season as much. You are. What do you think of this cast? So they do a little walkthrough of the villa, and it's just like what we remember, having the amazing neon signs. There's even a Murphy bed. We know that the Murphy bed is most likely going to be for the single that comes in to shake things up. We know that that's about to happen. And what was I going to say? So yeah, some more talks about no eye contact, but I love the villa. I love that it's back in Mallorca. I love that it reminds me of a time before COVID. Like all the Love Island, other than the US version last summer, has been pre-COVID, where it was just like everybody's just happy and free. You like all the cast? Okay, that's good. I'm just hoping that I'm going to like them as much as I like past seasons. I don't feel that way yet, but it's just the very beginning. I still have like 6 weeks to go, and I'll be like probably obsessed with them, just like I usually am. So what I found really interesting is Shannon, she kind of was talking in her promo videos about how she's very sex positive and she loves having sex like 8 times a day, and that she's like, even Brad's nan was very nervous about him maybe meeting her because she didn't want him to get in sort of relations with her. But she's been very, in my opinion, standoffish and not really wanting to engage with anybody. She didn't step forward for any of the men on the show. She was not happy with Aaron choosing her. She definitely friend zoned him completely, saying that he's not her type, which is fine, very fair, but it just seems as though she's a lot colder than I expected. I thought she might be a little more flirty and a little more engaging with the other men. So I was surprised by Shannon, just compared to how I was picturing her before she entered the villa to how she is now. I think that it's very, very different. And so hopefully that will change. So there's obviously the girls chat, which I love. You're talking about how they think Toby is too small, which is funny. I guess Kaz wants like some big hunky guy. Toby, I don't know how tall anybody is, but he's like 22. I just think he's just such a little baby. I don't know if he can handle any of these women. And Liberty really likes Jake. So this is kind of the beginning of seeing there's actually some sort of connections maybe forming. I don't know if it's one-sided only, just with Liberty liking Jake, but I'm happy that she stepped forward. She has the guy, and it seems like they have pretty good banter. They've been having a few conversations. She feels as though they're kind of the same person, but like she's a woman and he's a man, and she really likes him so far. So I'm happy that is looking out for her so far. So Brad likes Shannon as well. When they're talking in the lad chat, it seems like everybody finds Shannon to be quite attractive. Toby is being diplomatic, and he likes all the girls. So Faye was talking to Brad a little bit, and she found that Brad kind of talks in circles. Like, I think Brad is very, very attractive, but his slang, and like, I'm not sure exactly where he's from, but he has some funny language, and he does kind of talk in little riddles and circles, which is entertaining on a viewer's perspective. But I'm wondering, like, as trying to make a romantic connection with him, I don't know if it's that easy to be able to do. But I think he's very, very cute. So Kaz definitely likes Liberty and Jake. It seems like Kaz and Liberty, because they came into the villa first, it seems like they're fast friends. It seems like they're best friends right away. They always come back together to discuss what's going on, and it just seems like they have that rapport already. So I kind of like that. I ship that friendship couple as well as Kaz shipping Liberty and Jake. So they do make a plan for them to go sit on the beanbag. So they made a plan for Liberty to go and they're going to both go over and find the guy, sit with them, and then talk about wanting to sit on the beanbags so Liberty can get some alone time with Jake. But then they never even ended up sitting on the beanbags. They just sat on around the fireplace. So I was like, what happened with that plan? Went out the door, but they did get an opportunity to have some more chats. So I was pretty impressed by Liberty because she's also pretty young, that she's kind of ballsy enough to go up and get her man and go and talk to him. So I like that she's showing a lot of, chutzpah. Like she's not super shy and like, oh, I'll wait for him to talk to me. No, she's ready to go in and kind of put claims on her man. But then she's also quite realistic, being like, these women are beautiful, et cetera, et cetera. Like she doesn't have super high expectations as well. So I like that she's realistic, but she's also willing to put herself out there. So I think that's a really good trait that she has there. Shannon chats with Aaron, but there was no vibe there whatsoever. And even Aaron is now mentioning this in his confessionals that like, yeah, it kind of seems like friend vibe. It doesn't seem like anything's sparking there. So I'm glad that he's not offended, because he's like, I think he's the best looking man in the house personally. And so the fact that she's not interested in him, I'm glad that it doesn't offend him. I'm glad nobody's getting offended. I'm very happy about that. So yeah, Aaron doesn't feel a spark, and Shannon thinks Hugo might be too shy, which I kind of think is true as well. He doesn't seem like the type of guy that's gonna be cruising all the ladies, or what's the word that I want to use? I don't know. There's a British word that I want to use, but I can't think of it. So Jake gets a box of dares, and this is what we kind of live for with Love Island, is the silliness that they make them go through. They make them do all these really embarrassing games that are usually sexually oriented, that are quite uncomfortable or awkward to watch, but like that's kind of the fun of it. So the first dare is for Liberty and Jake as a couple to sexy dance for 30 seconds. So Jake does his little magic Mike type moves. I'm always embarrassed when men do that when they're not professional dancers. I'm just always like, ah! But she seemed to be enjoying it, and he has the body wave going. Next is Faye and Brad. They had to snog, kiss for 30 seconds. I don't remember what the kiss was like. I don't remember. Was it a good kiss, guys? I don't remember at all. I guess it wasn't that great if I don't remember it, but they had to kiss for 30 seconds. Kaz and Toby, they had to suck one of each other's toes. So Toby ends up sucking Kaz's toes because Kaz would never be doing that to Kobe, she says. A lot of people are really disgusted by feet, but for whatever reason, I don't care that much. So I guess I'd be the toe sucker. But I would also allow my toes to be sucked as well. Like, go for it. If you're into it, you're into it. And I think who has the toe fetish? It was Jake. So Jake, I wonder if he was jealous that he wasn't getting to suck Kaz's toes. Sharon and Hugo had to suck the earlobe of each other royally. Riley says, "That's grossed out when they did that." What, Riley? What's wrong with a little bit of toe sucking? Why do people hate toes so much? Is it the nails? Is it the fact that it's close to the ground, so that it might be actually dirty? What's so gross about toes? Is it because like men's toes have hair on the knuckles? What is it? It doesn't bother me that much, but it bothers a lot of people a lot. There's things that bother me, but toes is not one of them. So Shannon had to suck Hugo's earlobe, and she had like this red lipstick on. It was just like all over the poor guy's ear, but they did it. It was funny. And Shannon and Aaron had to twerk for a minute, and they both seemed to have absolutely no problem doing that. So one thing I like about these games is when everybody participates and they're just willing to have fun doing these silly things. So they all participated. I don't think that they were winning any sort of reward. It was just to have some content for the show. So we see near the end of the episode, Chloe, who I introduced in the cast assessment, making the slow walk down, I guess, the front path of the villa. So she is going to be infiltrating this group of islanders. And basically, Toby gets texts. It's actually a voice note from Chloe saying that she's outside the villa and that she wants to take all of the boys on a date. Either one can come or all of them can come, but she's waiting outside. And so that was the end of episode 1, is that moment. I got a text, which I also really miss. They haven't really gotten into that yet. They're just like, Toby was like, "Oh, guys, I got a text. It's a voice note." And I'm like, "Where's the, I got a text?" Like, he didn't really play into that. So I wonder if he's never seen the show or he's just kind of embarrassed that he had to do it. Je sais pas. So next episode, we hear that it's going to be 24 hours. She's going to be able to couple up with a boy of her choice. So she gets to break up one of these couples, and all the lads decide to actually go outside and meet Chloe. So Toby acts as the ambassador, and he tells all the ladies that, like, "Hey, we decided that it would be best if we all go." But when the guys were having their little chat, like, they didn't care about the women that they're coupled up with. They're like, "Who cares? We've known them for 2 minutes. Like, let's go meet this new girl. She sounds really sexy." So the guys are like, "Oh yeah, she sounds really sexy." But the girls were like, "Oh my God," well, mostly Faye was like, "Oh, I can't stand her voice," and kind of making fun of her. So I thought that was actually really funny. She does this interesting voice though, Chloe. It's kind of like British vocal fry. And she got like vocal fries, like when she like kind of talks like this, but it's like British, and I can't really do it. I'm gonna practice it if I can, but it's like, I would say British vocal fry is what Chloe does with her voice. I like Chloe a lot. I like her personality. She says many times that she likes being the center of attention. She likes having all eyes on her. That's where she feels most comfortable. So if I find out people's birthdays, I'm going to guess that Chloe is a Leo. So mark my words here, guys. If we find out birthdays, Chloe is a Leo. That's what I think so far. So all the guys go outside and they kind of have a little bit of a chat with Chloe. She goes around and finds out all their ages, and she says that she's older than most of them. She's only 25, but I guess the age range is mostly between 22 and 24 for these guys. But I do like that she's very self-assured, and she's very confident in herself. She was asking all the right questions, and she wasn't afraid to be like, "So are any of you guys coupled up? Like, are any of you guys like really locked down your relationship?" And pretty much everybody was like, "No, not really. We're all open. Like, we haven't known these ladies for that long." So she kind of has her pick of the litter here. When I think right off the bat who I think she'd be most interested in, I think that Brad would be who aesthetically I would think that she would jump towards. Like, that's kind of like looks wise who I think she'd be interested in. This is something I didn't see. Riley, you can tell me. I don't know, Sam, if you watched it in the UK yet, but if you have, let me know as well. Brad said that there has been snogging. So did I miss it? Did I blink and Brad and Faye have kissed? I don't remember seeing that, but I thought it was interesting when she asked that question that he responded. I was like, when did that happen? Okay. So Jake does mention to her that she likes blondes, and Chloe, as we know, is a beautiful blonde. The only blondes in the house right now are Faye, his couple, Liberty, and then now Chloe. So I think Jake is kind of being like, hey, I'm attracted to you. Pick me. If you pick me, I'll be happy about it because I like blondes. I mean, I don't know if I would be that, like, I don't care if someone likes brunettes or, you know, it just kind of like, what about my personality? Like, do you only like me because I have blonde hair? I just thought that was, it's very interesting that it's something that he keeps on mentions often. Chloe does find them all really good looking because I think it was Brad that asks, like, which one of us like stands out to you? And she's like, well, I think you're all very good looking, but I don't know any of you guys yet, so I can't really tell if like I'm attracted to any of you. And so I like that answer because it's like a realistic answer that you're not just going to be like, oh my God, you're the hottest. It also is being considerate of anybody's feelings. It's also not stepping on any of the women's territory if she doesn't have to, because like maybe she finds somebody really attractive and then she's not interested in them, but then the woman is already thinking she kind of broke girl code type thing after her man. So I thought it was smart that she kind of held her cards close to the vest there a little bit. So, oh, wait, when did she say this? So Chloe says that she likes lips. When was that? Not sure when she said that, but she does get a text. And I guess it's after she goes back in the villa with the lads, meets all the ladies. Everybody was quite receptive to her coming into the villa. I've got a text. You do you, hun. Hashtag let the games begin. Which I'm pretty excited about the games beginning because I do want to see who's in quarantine right now that's going to be coming in to stir things up with these Islanders. From social media spoilers, it seems like it's this episode that's aired just today is quite shocking. So I can't wait to watch that in a couple of hours. But Chloe here, she feels like she is the queen of the island because she knows that she's going to be next day be able to choose who she wants on the island to couple up with. So they go to bed and Kaz is hoping for a cuddle from Toby, but I'm like, Toby is too young. I don't think he knows how to kind of be with a woman. I think he's still a little bit juvenile in how he interacts with potential love interests. Like he's very, very green. So Riley says, I don't remember. I think I fell asleep when my mom and I were watching and I had to rewatch it. They might have kissed. I think I missed it. Yeah, I think I missed it too, or they didn't show it because I was like, for the fact that we both didn't see it, it doesn't really make any sense. It must have been, maybe it's in when there's, no, they haven't slept yet. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think they showed it. That's my guess. So the next morning is, you know, the announcer says that Chloe gets to grafting. Grafting was the word that I was thinking of when I said cruising, because that's more of a North American word. But the girls are exercising. Liberty learns that she snores, and apparently Jay is a very soft sleeper and that her toes were touching or something. So he was kind of upset that he didn't really get to have any sleep. Let's see, Sam saying here. Toby is not into Kaz, in my opinion. That's definitely not. He seems to make excuses when she asks for more. Yeah, I think that he's just doesn't know how to be in a relationship or knows how to date someone. I think that he's just very, very green and just doesn't know what he wants. Like, I think that he doesn't even know what he's attracted to or like what it feels like to be attracted to somebody. I think that he's just super, super, super green is my guess. But yeah, I mean, that also can go into play too, that I don't think he's attracted to Kaz, but I don't think that he's attracted to anybody. If that makes sense. Anybody at all. I think it's just because he's super green, because I don't see him like wanting to make out or like doing anything romantic. Like I just don't see that with him. He doesn't seem like somebody that's that interested in a relationship with anybody. So we'll see how that goes. Put a pin on it. So maybe we're going to watch him blossom and become this really amazing man in a relationship. But he's never been in one. So I think that he doesn't know what to do, what he's feeling or what he's thinking, or if he likes somebody. Like, I think he's just a little bit clueless. I'm confused by Jake. One day he's saying that I'm not all for liberty, but then is head over heels. I think that the element of the game might be coming into play here, Sam, and that he might, if he doesn't have somebody else that's interested in him and he doesn't kind of lock in Liberty, like what if the next person that comes in, Liberty and him have a really good connection, but he kind of put her on the back burner. So I think that he's playing a little bit of a game. I don't think that he's actually that into Liberty. Even though she's gorgeous, I think that he's not that into her. Maybe more friend zone, or like they talk about being kind of related, you know, and so I think that he's not attracted to her in that way, but I don't think he wants to leave the show. So I think he's trying to keep her in and maybe convince himself that he likes her more than he actually does. That's my thought. So yeah, the girls are exercising, and then Miss Chloe comes out in a very, very hot bikini. It was lime green. It was a thong. It had like this cutout kind of things. Like it was a really nice looking bikini. And the girls are just like, oh, what? And so Chloe goes and sits and is talking with the guys, and Faye definitely feels threatened. And she definitely calls out as a joke, but she's like, I've got my eye on you, girl. And I think it's that she's worried that she's going to go after her guy, which is Brad. And we know now that they potentially have kissed, so she might be feeling a little bit more for him and not want her to get her claws in her man and take him away from her. So Chloe, again, loves the attention. She calls over Jake to have a little bit of a chat. Chat wasn't very good. It doesn't seem like they relate in a romantic sense at all. She mentions that Jake wasn't very flirty, and he really wasn't. They're very far apart. Get it? They don't know each other that well, but it didn't seem as though, it seemed like they were forced to go and have a conversation. It didn't seem like they were wanting to like learn more about each other and like just so excited to be in each other's company. Like I didn't feel that at all. It just felt like a conversation with two people that were being forced to talk. Then Chloe talks to Aaron by the pool, and she was actually feeling a little bit smitten by Aaron, thinking that he was quite lovely. She was impressed by his want with the the skin line, and that he's not just a model, not just a pretty face, that he actually seems to have brains. And so she was pleasantly surprised by Aaron. Chloe's conversation with the guys felt awkward for some reason. Is it just me? Not all, but most. I think that this might be why I'm not really engaging with the men, with the season as much as usual, is I think that the guys aren't as good with the women as some of like seasons past. Like before, it seems like every single guy that was in there in the beginning has been in like many relationships, like know how to get girls, and like they have a better flow with women. It just seems as though these are just very attractive men that don't really have that much experience dating. That's what it seems like. Because Chloe seems to me like she has experience dating, because she's just asking questions and trying to get to know people, and they're just kind of, to me, seeming quite blocked. So I don't know. I think the men are less experienced than we're used to in like the first grouping of guys. That's my guess. What do you think, Sam? So she takes Brad for a chat. I didn't write down anything with her chat with Brad. So I guess nothing exciting happened there. So Kaz, beautiful Kaz, gets a text, something about horny devil. And one of my favorite parts about the show, obviously I like the games, but I love a good dress up in a good outfit. Halloween is my favorite holiday. So the fact that they're going to be wearing these little red devil outfits, super, super cute. So they're going to be divulging their sexiest secrets. And then whoever is the holder of the secret is going to be sliding into an ice bath. And how you determine who you think is on the opposite sex is going to be the person that has the secret. They're going to go and kiss them. So first up is who orgasms in their sleep. Toby goes and kisses Kaz, which I thought was interesting because he hasn't really shown that much interest in her. So they have a little smooch. And it actually is Liberty who orgasms in her sleep. So Liberty takes a trip down into the ice bath. Next up is had a sex toy stuck inside of her. Jake kisses Liberty thinking that it was her, but it was actually our new girl, Chloe. So who starts off the day by sending a tit pic? Like, it's interesting pic to send. So Jake kisses Faye, and it actually was Faye. So that was correct. Faye goes into the ice bath. Who's had a threesome 3 times? Aaron kisses Sharon, and it was actually Sharon. And Sharon was very impressed by this kiss because she said that Aaron was a very, very, very good kisser. Sam says, I agree, the men are pretty stale in their responses. Absolutely. They don't give much back. Absolutely. It's kind of like, where's the chat? Where's the banter? Like, I want to see the playfulness. When I just think of some of the other guys, like season 1, like Jonathan just has so much personality and charisma. And even, what was the girl's name that he ended up getting with? I forgot her name right now. Blonde girl. Hannah. Like, she was, I think, 21 at that time. And she just seems a little bit, has just more life experience in relationship than some of these men and women have. So definitely, I'm noticing that there's definitely less relationship experience, seemingly. And then we have who had sex in a bar toilet, and Toby goes to kiss Shannon, and Shannon gives him the swerve. I was like, cold. Like, Shannon won't even give like just a little kiss in a game. I was just very surprised. Not to say that anybody's supposed to kiss anybody they don't want to kiss or whatnot. I just did not expect her to shut that down. Like, it's just a kiss in a game on a show. And yeah, so I was surprised. But it actually was Shannon. So the threesome was Sharon, and the sex in the bar toilet was Shannon. They both went down in the ice bath. Whose Nan walked in, and I knew that was no matter what was going to be Brad, because like it's all about the fact that he lives with his grandmother, and like, you know, his grandmother has made some comments about Shannon in the house, so I had a feeling it was going to be Brad's Nan that walked in on him having sex. So Faye does go and kiss Brad, and yes, it was actually Brad that had this experience. Who has a massive foot fetish. We did learn about this already. That is going to be Jake. So Chloe kisses Jake, and she is correct here. It is Jake. Sex in the middle of the road, which I thought was interesting. I want to know how this logistically went. Sharon, I think that she just really enjoyed her kiss from Aaron before, but decides to kiss him again because it was actually Hugo, which I need to have a little bit of an explanation of this. I want to know how this went down, Hugo. Please help me understand. Sam says to me, Shannon is pretty boring and closed off, but she hasn't met someone she truly likes. 100%, totally agree. I just thought that she was going to be a little bit more provocative, we'll say. Not that she has to, not that she should at all. I just am surprised that she's more reserved in these little games that don't really mean that much. But she can do whatever she wants. I was just not expecting her to be like that. Sex in a car park. So Kaz kisses Toby, and yes, it actually was Toby who had sex in his kitchen. Liberty kisses Jake, and it was actually Aaron. And snog 10 girls in a night. Faye snogs Hugo, and yes, it actually was Hugo. And I don't remember what this actually meant, but blink and you'll sit. Liberty snogs Aaron, but it was actually Brad. So I don't know if that means he's a 1 minute man or he's not very well endowed, but Brad takes that prize. So everybody is a winner. They go back to the villa, running in slow motion in their little outfits, as we love. And Chloe also says that Aaron is the best kisser. So Aaron might be getting maybe some more looks from Chloe now, just because of the fact that, you know, they had a little bit of a smoochy smooch, and he's also very attractive. And they had that moment at the pool where they connected, and she was surprised by, you know, how deep the conversation was, and that he has a little bit more going on than she was initially expecting him just to be like some model, but he went to a good school, et cetera, and he kisses well. And you guys, if you guys know me, I say all the time, my acting teacher said to me, if the kiss ain't great, legs don't separate. So Aaron's kiss is good, so Chloe might be wanting to snuggle up next to him. Jaquan! Hi, Jaquan. How are you? We're talking about Love Island UK, but I'm going to do probably the cast reveal tomorrow for Love Island US. We'll go and we'll talk about the new people in the US cast. And I'll probably go live every day with both shows. I'll figure out how to do it, but I'm trying to be short, stick it to 1 hour. And I think Tamika, who hangs out in the chat in this one, as well as in for the Bachelorette, we're going to maybe figure out a time, and she might be my co-host for Love Island US. So if anybody here also would like to chat about Love Island US with me, I do want to go live every day. So if you're interested in coming on live with me, that would be welcome. But also if you just want to hang out in the chat and I'll be here, I can do that too if you're shy. Who's your favorite character so far? I mean, I'm interested in seeing Shannon because I think she's stunning. I want to see her personality more. I want to see what she's like when she connects with somebody, because I was intrigued by her, especially, you know, her background. I don't think we've ever seen anybody from, you know, with her background on the show that I can think of. I could be wrong, female-wise anyways. Yeah, I wanted to know more about her. I like Chloe because she's ready to be out there. She seems like she's a girl. She gets along with people. Guys like her. She's funny. She's nice. She's pretty. So I think right now Chloe and Shannon are my two favorite. Liberty, I like her, but she's a little bit too young for me. I also really like Kaz. I think she's beautiful and she's nice. I haven't really seen her personality that much. I do like the friendship that she's building with Liberty. Sharon is a little bit boring, but hopefully, you know, somebody might spark her interest and she might come out of her shell a little bit. And is that all for the girls? And then for the guys, I'm not really like Aaron's my favorite guy for sure. Then maybe Brad. Then maybe Hugo's kind of boring, but he's sweet. Toby's kind of young, and Jake is he's just not my style. But yeah, I like Aaron though. I think he's really handsome. I'm not that high on this cast yet. Yeah, me too, Jaquan. I definitely, that's what I was saying in the beginning, that I don't know if it's just that I love the season 5 cast so much. And even the season 6 cast compared to this cast, I liked better. So hopefully as things shuffle around and change and people start getting into love connections, I'll be really feeling them more. But as of right now, I'm not that excited by anybody. But as I said already, like I like Aaron, I like Shannon, I like Chloe. Those are my top women or top contenders so far, and Kaz-ish. I guess this is pretty much the end of the episode. So there's a little bit of a girl chat. Shannon doesn't really care if anybody chooses her guy, chooses Aaron, like she's not really that into him. But Faye's a little bit worried that Chloe might take Brad from her. So that's what the girls chat. Kaz and Chloe have a little bit of a chat. Chloe saying that she fancies a few of these guys and she doesn't know who to pick, but she doesn't want to play it safe. Oh. So we end the episode with Chloe. I've got a text. Hashtag up for grabs. Hashtag steal the show. They are all sent to the fire pit because we know now that Chloe's going to be choosing who she wants to be coupled up with. And so what usually happens at this case is that they get coupled up, the one girl's single, or if it's the other way around, the man's single. Sometimes they bring in another person for that to potentially couple up with them, and then there's a recoupling and then a couple leaves. But I don't know what they're planning on doing this season, so who knows? Sam says, I'm not into most, I'm not into the guys being into blondes. Absolutely. It is annoying. It's annoying to me too, since most of the women are the opposite of that. Absolutely. And, there's so much cry for diversity, like just even having somebody on the show that is seemingly only into blondes, that really takes away from any of the diversity that's already in there. Like Kaz, that means she most likely won't have a chance. Shannon definitely seems like she's of Southeast Asian descent, so she's kind of be out of the question. And even Sharon seems to be mixed in some capacity with some sort of diversity, and so she's not blonde. Like, I think Sharon has dyed a little bit blonde, but like I don't think she's the blonde that he's looking for. And so I've been saying last season that I want to see everybody that goes on this show be interested in everyone, so everybody has a shot. I don't want to see another Kaz be last picked because none of the guys are into her. I'm definitely agreeing with you here. I think that's a complete misstep. And I find that ITV is usually really good with their casting, at least decently good. And so the fact that they cast somebody that's kind of only into blondes is a little bit disappointing. Hi, Dolores. Good evening. I have a VPN. Where may I watch this? Sounds interesting. I'm not sure VPN-wise. I tried to use VPN on the actual website, but it wouldn't allow me. So I'll hook you up. Hopefully that they'll keep on having the links come. And yeah, I'll message you, Dolores, after I pop off, and you'll be able to catch up. We're only going to be on episode 3 today. It's going to be coming out, so you're not too far behind. And we have Jaquan. Normally, I like at least one person. As of right now, it seems like Friend Island. I'm waiting for new people to spice the show up right now. It's kind of dull. Yeah, me too. I want some spice. Chloe's doing a decent job. We'll see what happens after this episode. Of course, Dolores. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go see right now if it's posted anywhere so I can get on that. And then I think they're gonna try to come online maybe 2 p.m. Eastern. Let me know if you think that that's a good time to start doing Love Island UK at maybe 2 p.m. and then maybe Love Island US at 3:30 or 4. Tell me what you think. I'm obviously open and very flexible, and if any of you want to be a co-host for either, I definitely don't mind talking to somebody, but also if you want to hang out with me in the chat, that's a-okay as well. So you guys know the drill, but if you could still subscribe. We are trying now to get to 10,000 subscribers, which is like, I can't even believe that that's our next goal, but that is what it is. Please help us get there. Obviously, share this with anybody that you know that watches Love Island UK. We love having fans of the show. It's just super fun to talk about. It's our summer excitement. This is happening. US is happening. And then also Big Brother is happening. So lots of content is going to be coming from Reality Realness. So let me know what you guys want. And I've been thinking of maybe doing a Patreon, and would you think of maybe watching some of these episodes with the Patreon, like on Discord or something like that? Let me know what you guys think. Perfect. Yes, it is kind of Friend Island, Dolores, but you're gonna love it though. I don't know if you watch US Love Island. I can't remember, but it definitely is going to be good. It's going to get good. It's having a little bit of a slow start. Yes, thank you. Like the video. Are you watching Too Hot to Handle? It's actually paused on my TV right now. So yes, I'm watching Too Hot to Handle. I think that they did a better casting job, in my opinion, right off the bat compared to this Love Island, which I'm quite surprised by because there's a couple of people from the UK that are on this season of Too Hot to Handle. And so why didn't they go on Love Island? Like that, like I could have totally seen some of those people on Love Island instead. But it is a nice mess. Dolores, it's so messy, but it's very entertaining. Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. And message me if you need any help watching these episodes. Let me know what you think. Put some comments in the comment box. Tell me who your favorite couple is, all that jazz. And we'll see you live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. See you guys. Thanks, everybody.